Hey, so I am Abba Newbery. I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Habito, who are a fintech mortgage disruption business based in the UK and who are very proudly a B Corp as of last year.
Thank you so much, Abba, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really curious about this B Corp certification. Before I ask you about that, because I know that's very important, tell me more about Habito. What kind of company? How long have you guys been in operation, and how are you disrupting the marketplace?
Yeah, good question. So we are, I guess, 6 years old, 5 years live, and I personally joined 4 years ago. And we're basically bringing technology to the business of mortgages. In the UK, it's an extremely archaic process. You have to go into your bank, have an interview with a bank manager, fill out forms that are 200 pages long, and we just couldn't believe that was still happening in 2015. So we decided to change all of that, so you can get a mortgage on your mobile in about 20 minutes through our technology. But we also happen to be a mortgage lender as well as a mortgage broker, the first people to be allowed to in the UK, which is obviously a very heavily regulated financial market. So we're also building mortgage products around people. So the mortgage market really was built 150 years ago and isn't built for self-employed people, squiggly careers, mums who work, dads who don't want to work. So we're inventing mortgages that fit with our new lives.
Excellent. Tell me about, first of all, what is B Corp? What is a B Corp certification?
That's a good question. B Corp, I guess, is much bigger in North America than is in the UK. We're still in the kind of early stages. I think it has about 30% awareness, growing rapidly. And I guess it's a good question because when we went into being a B Corp, we're like, our mission is to help people find home. We want to, build a business fit for the future with, the best culture and the best people wanting to work for us. We're like, we'll get a B Corp certification. We'll stick it on our adverts and on LinkedIn, and it's going to be a great marketing tool. And then we looked at the actual process. We were like, oh, wow. This is a full, evisceration of everything you do environmentally and with your people. And the more we looked into it, strangely, masochistically maybe, the more we wanted to do it. And so B Corp is not just a badge, it's literally a legal commitment to say that we're going to put people and the planet on at least the same level as we put profit, which is a big thing to do as a small, fast-growing business.
So, at the beginning, it was a badge. It was something to, use in marketing, like you said. What was it about the process or the overall mission of being a B Corp that appealed to Habito?
Well, I guess we're in the business of housing, and the UK housing stock is possibly quite unique in the world. So 30, I think it's the exact figure is 38% of our houses were built before the Second World War, built before 1940. And I guess the resultant impact of that is 19% of our carbon dioxide emissions in the UK come from houses. Leaky windows, leaky roofs, old boilers. We live in Victorian houses, not nice, hoof houses and passive houses and eco homes. The more we looked into the B Corp certification and started to reflect on ourselves as a business, the more we realized the contribution we could make to the world as a whole if we could actually start to change the way people look at their homes in terms of carbon emissions, but the way that they're financed, how you can help people maybe borrow some more money to put in that right boiler. And so the more we delved into the process, the more we felt we could really make a difference. And so the more we should do it. So for us, B Corp isn't like the end of the process. It's the very start. Becoming a B Corp is now us going out there into the world and saying, we want to reduce UK household carbon emissions from the 19% that they are today.
I think that leads to my next question, which is, what's the value of this to consumers? So, the obvious one is, a better planet. But I'm wondering if for your company, there's more value to the consumer than meets the eye.
Yeah, I think part of what we've got to do is get people to care and to know that 19% is coming from their homes and they can change it. A bit like certainly in the UK, people are thinking about buying electric cars and they're thinking about recycling, but really those things have been done through penalty. So you get your bins taken away, and so you have to recycle. We have congestion charge and a low emissions charge, for example, in big cities, which means you get a pretty punitive penalty if you're not driving a good car, with low emissions. It was the same a long time ago in the UK when we had to force people to wear seatbelts in cars, fine them because we couldn't get them to care otherwise. And I guess the challenge that we've got is how do you get people to really care about how to make a difference in a way that's easy and not punitive, that's not making them borrow existentially more, or not also making them feel like they're going to have to pay an extra interest rate price if their home is a different category to somebody else's house. And I guess there's also an interesting thing, which is with anything green, it's a bit like getting married. As soon as you say, I'd like to book this hotel, it's for a wedding, the price doubles. And in many ways, being green and ecologically sound in people's heads also carries that price premium. And some of us can afford to do it. Some of us can't. And also some of us can afford to do it in some categories and add an extra 20p to our washing up liquid. But that's different to borrowing an extra, £25,000 to completely change the roof of your house.
Yeah. Interesting.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. It does.
In a roundabout kind of way.
And prior to me having this discussion with you, another question that I had was, what's the relationship? Because when I first realized Habito and the certification that you guys have with B Corp, and then your title as, I believe, Chief Marketing Officer, I'm thinking I don't get it. What's this relationship between, from on the outside thinking, okay, they've got this certification where, they're environmentally friendly, they're a good company. What's that relationship between, marketing and this designation?
Yeah, I guess being a B Corp for us is more than being ecologically sound. So it's the people and planet that's important to us. And as I said, when you think about our mission being helping people find home, there's lots of ways that we can make a difference. There's the mortgage itself, that coming from a good bank who's investing in the right things. Does it give you enough flexibility to make your home green? Can we help you through the scale of our business find ways of making your home greener easier? There's all sorts of amazing technology that's going on around carbon sucking paint and stuff like that. But also this sense of building communities. And like where you live is much more than the walls around you and the roof over your head, but it's the neighbors and the community you live in and what it feels like to walk down the street. So we're committed to doing all of those things. And actually, when you kind of bundle it up like that, you say, yeah, this is a fantastic way of talking to customers about things that they really care about. And I guess the reality of a mortgage, I don't know if you have a mortgage, I have a mortgage, but as soon as you get a mortgage, the next thing that you want to do is do that. Because it was a difficult process, hopefully not that difficult through Habito, but it's also the biggest expense that leaves your bank account every single month. So most of us are just like, I'm just going to pay my mortgage and I really don't want to think about it. And actually this is a way about thinking like but a bit more broadly about your house, rather than just being the home for you and your family or just being something that you want, to go up in value over time, but being these walls around you, but you're part of a bigger community. So we don't market our B Corp status a lot, to be honest with you. I have a great, deep held belief as a marketeer, which is that you should never tell anyone that you're funny. You should always just make them laugh. And so we are doing that. We will talk about products and things that make a difference to people's lives. The most recent thing we've done is go into partnership with Skateboard Great Britain, and start to change the UK's attitude towards skateboarding in terms of being a great community sport, a great family entertainment, completely COVID safe, and also obviously about to be part of the Olympics this year. Touch wood, they take place. So yeah, just starting to think about our bigger voice in the world, rather than just saying this is a green mortgage, if that makes sense.
I'd like to get your opinion as someone in marketing on this. In 2020 and of course now in 2021, as we're still as the world is still figuring out how to now leave this pandemic that we've been in and re-engage in the world. We've obviously had, forced as it was, time to reflect and ponder and think about the future and how we behave in our relationships with both the world as well as with each other as individuals. And I'm wondering whether or not, these things that people have been thinking about and some companies have been talking about, I think there's a relationship with this designation about being a B Corp corporation, whether companies, as they move forward in 2021 and beyond, will look at ways to be better, to be good, as a corporate value, and seeing that why and how that's important to their consumers.
That's a big question. I mean, we're in this incredibly interesting time, right? Because I guess it's been a year. A year does not change human behavior. Everything we know about our species means that the chances are that we're going to go back in many ways to our old forms of behavior, and businesses are no different. So I think we've got a lot to do to hold ourselves to account. You have businesses who claim to do good but don't pay tax, or enough tax relative to other businesses. You have businesses who have taken furlough money, which has been our major relief scheme in the UK, to help out very hard hit businesses. You have people who've taken that furlough money and then paid it back, or businesses that have paid it back and said, look, we're okay now, thank you, we'll give it back. You've had other businesses who've taken that money, not given it back, and then paid shareholder dividends. So it's going to be a very interesting time, how much we not us at Habito, but other businesses walk the talk, and how much we as consumers and customers hold these businesses to account and say, do you know what, that's not okay. I'm not going to shop with you. I'm not going to shop with you anymore because I don't like the way you behaved. It's a big ask of customers, certainly in the UK. Some people are better off from this crisis because they haven't had to pay traveling costs. You couldn't go out and eat in restaurants. You couldn't go on holidays. You've got a group of people who've got like the largest savings pot they've ever had. And then you've got another whole tranche of the population who have suffered furlough, income reduction, had to quit their jobs for childcare, got made redundant. So I'm too nervous to make any predictions. But I think as much as we, can all look each other in the eye and go to sleep at night and say, yeah, we've been good today. That's probably enough to start with.
Abba, thank you so much. This has been a very insightful conversation. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. It's been really nice to talk to you.
Power your advertising. Working with Active International enables you to fund your advertising using your company's own products, assets, or even services. We have over 30 years' experience connecting and bringing value to businesses all over the globe, helping many brands scale up into household names. Want to achieve more from your marketing spend? Contact Active International today.